Okay, good morning, welcome back to T-Upload TV, and thanks for joining the average golfer for another head-to-head. There's some, well, these drivers at the moment have certainly been very impressive over the last few months, and none more so than the two that I've got in my hands at the moment, and that is the G400 and the Callaway Big Bertha Epic. Inevitably, at some point, this has got to be a head-to-head because you've got to see who comes out on top, at least in the hands of the average golfer anyway. So what I have done, I've gone the standard product. Notice I tested the SF Tech last week. I'm going to go standard G400 against the standard Epic model. This isn't the Sub-Zero model. This is set in neutral. It's set at 11.5 degrees. It's a 10.5 degree head with 1 degree of loft added, and this is set at 10.5 degrees. The slightly difference in the setup, and it's because it's what I'm sort of in the practice balls that I've hit, it's what I'm getting the best out of both of these clubs. They both have a regular shaft in, same shaft as what I've tested in so far, which is this CB Ultra, is it? Is that how you pronounce it? CB Ultra regular shaft, and in the Callaway I have a Rogue Max 65 regular shaft in this one as well. So as ever, let's move the camera. I'm going to narrow it down maybe 4 or 5 balls each, and we'll do an assessment and see which one comes out on top, because in the testing I did individually they were very, very impressive indeed. So let's get that camera moved and get hitting some golf balls. Okay, so before I do start hitting some golf balls, I am going to make a quick mention of the looks and appearance, but I don't want to repeat stuff that I've already done in previous videos. But I think they are two very, very different looking clubs. Once again, I've sort of said from the top line, the turbulator and Dragonfly technology and this matte finish is not my cup of tea, if I'm honest with you, in terms of the look from above the club. But again, that is very, very much a personal view, and I actually prefer the look of the sort of this Epic. I love this carbon crown that it's got well, it's a carbon effect on the crown, and I think it's more appealing, it's more traditional. It looks with this gloss finish, but that is about it, all I would say. In terms of sat behind the ball, similar club head sizes. I'd say the Epic again seems to have, and I don't know whether this is statistically correct, it doesn't look like when I look at them there, but it seems to have a taller club face, and I actually like the way it sits behind the ball, perhaps a little bit better on the eye for me than the G400. But that's the only comment I'm going to make, and yet again it is a very personal one. Anyway, let's hit some golf balls. I'll start with the G400. Okay, so an interesting test that was, to be fair. Like I said, on a personal level, I've been really looking forward to getting and testing these two in a head-to-head, simply because I tested the Big Bertha Epic a few months ago now, and like I always say, even from week to week, you sort of you wonder if it was as good as when you first tested, because obviously different weeks produce different swings, certainly at my level, so a consistency level will be different There'll be good days and bad days, so it's nice to get the two clubs in on a head-to-head. I swung the ball reasonably well. I don't think I did it as well as I didn't get the numbers that I got out the G400 of the testing last week, and that's possibly because, like I said, I didn't swing quite as well as I did then. But like I said, for the purpose of this, it was a really interesting head-to-head, like I said, in my book. So first of all, let's go with the numbers from the G400, and don't forget I had a slightly different setup than what I felt was my best, which was I like this SF Tech head. Shaft was the same, but it was just the regular G400 head on it. Going through the numbers, and I'll throw them up on screen now. Once again, produced very high club head speeds. I don't think I've seen a number of 100 mile an hour on a driver swing for me before. Which produced 147 ball speeds. Launch was lower, and I think that was quite there's an interesting number in here for me on a personal level, and I think sometimes contradicts what is everybody's looking for. So it's kind of like that launch would be considered to be good at 13.2, and then you get a spin number of 2100. Yeah, very stable across the spin and very, very low compared to the setup that I had with the SF Tech. The strike was good. It won there quite a bit offline, which was the last ball that I hit. So again, just going on the carry distances, averaged out at 232. Longest ball running out there at 263, and they're fairly consistent in the strike. But the interesting bit for me was that although I produced very high club head speed and ball speed, launch being slightly lower, producing the better spin number. So they're all kind of things that would add up to being what people are looking for. I preferred or got better performance out of a higher launch and a slightly higher spin, so my carry distance was longer in the testing that I did of the SF Tech, and that just goes to show that it's not always this kind of rule of thumb where you're looking for this low spinning driver all the time. That said, go over to the numbers now on the Epic driver, and again it was good to get this in the hands again. This is a solid club, and I think that's a good word to use. I think it's a real solid performer. I'm not too sure. I hit the ball well today, and the issue that I would have is the G400 the more forgiving of the two on a bad day? But like I said, a lot of these strikes came fairly out the middle of the club. So again, good club head speed, nowhere near the club head speed that I generated with the G400, but averaged out at 96, club ball speed at 142. Now the launch here was massively different, as you see. So this is where again my numbers kind of contradict the norm. So with an average launch of 15.9, but the spin being really low at 2.2. So this is kind of, in terms of the setup, a more optimal number for me. Like I said, strike was good, and an average carry of 241. So this is almost 10 yards further than what I hit the G400 over this minimal and small test, don't get me wrong. And then the ball's averaging out at 3 of them near the 270 mark in terms of rollout. So in the test as a head-to-head, if you look at the numbers, the setup for me at least in the Epic was better. In terms of numbers and performance, like you said, you would put that as the outright winner, I would suppose. But I think the consideration that you need to make, and that I would, in terms of buying one of these two clubs, is just that forgiveness level. I'm not sure whether or not like I keep saying, I hit the ball reasonably well today, found the centre of the club with both drivers, and almost would have liked to have done a bit of testing where I wasn't hitting the ball so well, quite honestly, because like I said, the Ping G400 seems to perform right across the club face. I'm not sure that the Epic would be quite so forgiving. But having said that, I'm very much undecided on which of these two I would go for. I've said before in the past on the testing that we've done that the two standout drivers for me in the last 12 months, 2 years, has been the Epic and now the G400, and I still stand by that. It's very much a personal choice of which one you would prefer. So as ever, get out there, test them yourself, and put some feedback in the box below. I know a lot of you have been out trying the clubs and put some comments down. It's great to hear from other golfers, because as I keep saying, this is the opinion of just one average golfer, and we'd like to hear from more of you. As ever, thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you don't already, and I'll carry on doing some more testing.